Everybody, welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by our friends at Yeti. I love when we have an impromptu Billy Liucci visit here on the program, which usually means we're going to talk about the hot news. And the hot news is the coaching search, Nick Savage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever Billy hops on, you got to tune in. Keep it posted on TexAgs Radio, Twitter, and everything to find out when that's going to be, because we let you know, that's for sure.
What else do we have today?
Well, we had John Harris. He was talking about what his reaction was to all the coaching news coming out. ACU head coach Keith Patterson stopped by. We actually talked to him yesterday, but we aired it today. And Peter Burns heard a little bit of his reaction to all the coaching carousel getting fired up.
Fun times here at TexAgs. Here is the Rewind. Check it out.
Yeah, the response has been tremendous so far. The response has been tremendous. And I did get a text from one of my insider friends who said they actually handed out sleeves to whoever wanted them. So there wasn't just Moose, it was a bunch of them. But so my and by the way, like Evan Stewart practiced, you know, like there's an energy. There's an energy.
Yep, juice.
As far as the coaching search, the response I've heard has been like, see, to me, I'm going almost like, yeah, no bleepity bleep, because A, everybody wants a raise. B, everyone knows what an incredible job this is. To me, there should be no surprise the caliber and the scope and range of people reaching out. Some that I've heard that have reached out, it's actually laughable, like the amount of people. I mean, I think you get guys like, I'm joking, but there might be like former A&M players that have never coached that are doing like,
hey, let me coach.
I don't even want to say because they'll think I'm talking about them, so I won't even pick a profession. They're like, I think I could do the job. Like, well, yeah, I could too for $75 million, you know. But the reality is, the response has been like, damn, okay. Like, I think with if you're Ross Bjork and whoever else is in this decision-making process, and I think that's an interesting question to ask. Because I think at the top of it, Ross and Justin Moore, they're side by side up there, and as the AD and associate AD, hey, that's how it normally will go. With that said, their job now is to go, okay, we thought we were going to kind of go in this kind of live in this kind of space, but here comes this guy, and here comes this guy from, like, say, the NFL, or here comes this guy from college. Here's a totally unexpected guy that at least, damn, you know, you have to think through all these things because they're at that phase right now, and I'm telling you, people, stop assuming they had a guy picked. They didn't. Stop assuming there's one or two candidates 3 days into this thing. There's not.
I just saw a tweet a little while ago that broke down how much Jimbo gets paid per hour of living through 2031. It was like he gets paid like $1,000 an hour. I think it was Peter Burns tweeted this. He got paid $8,600 last night to sleep for 8 hours. Yeah, it's. I mean, sometimes you have to laugh or you cry. You know, so yeah. I mean, look, on the Jimbo side of it, and I don't know if people are mad at like Jimbo for the contract or whatever, but look, think about your own situation. If you went to your boss and said, "Hey, boss, give me $500,000 for the next 8 years. That's what I want to be able to stay here," and you were making $45,000, and the boss says, "Okay." Everybody else can be mad at you, I guess, but why? If your boss says yeah to it, you know, or somebody says yes to it, then that's on them. That's on them for doing it. So all your buddies that you work with, you know, if they want to go ask for it and don't get it, I mean, who's at fault? Not Jimbo? Not at all, man. You know, look, this coaching profession, it pays well, but it's hell. It is absolute hell. Think of how many shows. I mean, it'd be interesting to think of how many shows, David, you mentioned the word Jimbo during a day. And how many of those are positive mentions, how many are negative mentions, but just his name is just mentioned. I mean, that's what college coaches go through. And now in the NIL world, recruiting world, transfer portal, I mean, it's a difficult world to live in. but they get paid handsomely. And, my wife says it all the time because I think my wife thinks of the money side. She's like, well, yeah, but he's going to get $78 million and he can sleep well at night. Well, yeah, but that's not the way competitors and coaches think. Competitors and coaches think, no, I gotta get on to the next one.
Let's talk a little bit about your first couple years there at ACU. How have you enjoyed it, and just the group that you have put together there?
Yeah, it's been great. I hired a great group of young coaches. Gave a lot of them their first job to be full-time Division I coaches, so that was great. It's been learning the FCS level. It's almost kind of like being minor league baseball in some regard, where a year ago your rosters are always in constant change. We brought in. That's one of the things I think we're battling this year. We brought in from May 31st to August the 1st, we probably brought in 40 people onto our roster. And when you have a 63 scholarship limitation, that's quite a bit of change. So we played good at times. I just think that, it takes that off season to try to gel and become a team. And so I think that's kind of where we are. Very excited. I mean, we were playing last week to try to win our conference game, send these seniors out of here with an 8-2 home record, 8-3 conference record over 2 years, and 14-5 versus non-FBS opponents. So there's a lot of good things. We've lost 5 one-possession games in my 2 years here. So again, we're continuing to build, and I do believe that we're moving in the right direction.
Something you said there caught my attention, just this new world of college football that we're in with so much movement and stuff. I don't necessarily like it, but as a head coach, it's not about liking or not liking. It's about evolving and figuring out how to make it work for you.
No doubt about it. You have to adapt. I mean, we didn't create the rules. We just got to abide by them. You can sit and I lost my best defensive player up front a year ago to the University of West Virginia. We lost a linebacker to Liberty. So there's just so many moving parts in college football, and managing a roster is a big, big part of it. And so therefore you just have to use the rules to your advantage. And, you got to supplement your roster, and it's going to be almost a year by year. You're building a team.
If they get this hire right, then what?
Then you're a college football playoff contender day one, especially in a 12-team playoff. I mean, I think that's why, it comes at an interesting time of college football is going to be completely reimagined coming up this next year, right? You got a 12-team playoff. You end up having all this conference realignment, Texas and Oklahoma coming into the conference. So this right now is almost like a brand new, there is a clean slate. What are we going to do? And now there's going to be an opportunity for Ross Bjork and his Board of Regents to go ahead and make a splash hire. I do find it funny, some of the names that people throw out. I don't think Lane Kiffin's going. I don't think Dabo Swinney's going. Deion Sanders are not going. Those are 3 names that get a lot of buzz whenever you see a headline around it. But I don't see any of those 3, calling plays next year up in College Station.
So who do you think makes the most sense then, Peter?
I mean, listen, the 2 names that make the most sense, at least on paper, is one, Mike Elko, because he's been there before, and the success that he's had at Duke. I don't personally know Mike that well, but by all accounts, I remember when Jimbo Fisher said that he was going to hire Elko, it was because he's like, hey, I wanted a defensive coordinator who had given me a bunch of hell when I coached against him, and Elko was that guy. And now he's shown that he can do it on a Power 5 level. Now, on the flip side of it, I mean, I'm probably too close to this, but I love Jeff Traylor over at UTSA. And I know some people will say, well, we're not really familiar necessarily with Jeff Traylor, but everything that you want out of him is something that you're looking for. A guy that has had success, a guy that's won a couple of games, and now all of a sudden a guy that can recruit extremely well. So that to me is the kind of the no-brainer in my mind.
All right, Nick, tell the people.
Well, they have been subscribing, so keep it up.
Thank you.
I think we're up about 400 subscribers in the past 3 days, so keep going, almost to 12,000. Like, comment, I already said subscribe. Follow us on all of our social media stuff, and check out the TexAgs coaching search special on TexAgs.com.
See you next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching.